Welcome to another episode of Escape from Pertam with no jetpack, no refineries, hostile AI, and a host of other difficulties for this survival challenge. And we're going to start off this episode by trying to take over an enemy base with nothing more than basic hand tools and a pistol. As we approach this base, I need to be cautious. As a reminder, we only have the one survival kit and no way to repair it, so this rover is life. But we'll get closer and go slow. So at 2,000 kilometers, they detected our presence, but we haven't done anything yet to make them too angry. They'll shoot at us for sure if we get within range, but let's try to use the hills as cover and play it safe. Alright, we've had a light dust storm move in. Not ideal for visibility, but there's our objective. And they're already firing! Okay, let's get low and circle around for a better angle. I think what I'll try to do is hopefully get it just the right spot and shoot out their guns one at a time. They hit me a couple times, and I think the damage is from interior turrets, so it may be possible to take those down with this basic pistol. We'll just have to see. Alright, I accidentally turned off the camera, but the attempts to take out a turret with the pistol failed. It just took too many shots, and I kept getting picked off. So now I'm doing the tried and true space engineer's method of tunneling to reach the base. I'd rather not do it this way, but without any weapons to speak of, and not even much in the way of spare components for the rover, we just have to. We have to do whatever it takes to survive. Okay, I can see the top of one turret. I'm also landing a few shots on it. It's also able to hit me if I'm not careful here. You can see my reputation going down with the Assert faction. Nice, one down. This second one though is a lot harder to see. I'm hitting something, but it might not be the turret. Let me drill a little closer and see if I can get in a better position. I think now I'm getting this second one, at least when I'm not hitting the sand. Oh, my hole is not very safe. This is trench warfare for sure. Let me just continue to burrow on here. Okay, nice. I seem to be behind the turret. Now if I can just take it out. Nice. Let me scout this place out and do a little looting first. What's interesting with this base is that it was already ablaze when I got here, so I think it may have been struck by one of the meteors. That's just what I'm guessing. Some comms are still being transmitted from this base. Let's look around here. I also see a turret on the other side of the antenna tower, and it looks like its only power source might be this fragile bit of girdering. So let me remove that and hopefully stop the base from calling in reinforcements with that antenna, and neutralize the turret at the same time. Success. We're good. Alright, I think everything dangerous is neutralized. And what I'm also not seeing yet are any heavy armor blocks for metal grids, but there's bound to be a few here. What I'll do now is finish looting any storage containers, and eventually I'll want to completely grind down this entire base for components. If I can't find an area of ice, it would be a good location to set up a small base, but until then, I don't really need to carry around a full rover of components. That's just not necessary. Taking this base was reasonably easy, but what I didn't catch on film, and what you didn't see, was me getting pinned down behind a tree and dying a couple of times. But we'll get on back to the rover and get moving. Okay, we're back on the move, and I'm making my way back over to the canyons. I know, that's where we ran into the spiders and lightning before. But if there's any logic to this planet at all, the lowest parts of the canyons would be a likely collection point of water. I just don't think I'll find any out on the desert sands where we found the Assert base. Let's watch out for the sharp hill. And look at that! That's definitely an unusual dark green patch down there. It's not big, but let's ease our way down there and check for ice underground. Ah, yes, ice. We found it. We don't have it yet, but we know where it is. Okay, this will be home sweet home for a while. What I'd like to do is burrow into the side of this hill and perhaps make an underground base that'll protect me from the meteors. Because if one hits the survival kit and destroys it, we're practically done for. So with that plan, let me modify this rover a little and equip the front with a set of drills to bore a ways into the hill. Let's get this makeshift construct welded up and see how it works. What I don't need to do is collect a bunch of stone. I might need some, but processing that with the survival kit will be pretty slow. And I also don't have a ton of carrying capacity on this rover, so it'll fill up pretty quickly. I'll just turn the conveyors off and see how that goes. Slow and steady, we'll just nibble away at the edge. It is working. Okay, it stopped working. We're too front heavy. I was afraid of that. I think being able to drill out enough stone to make an underground or embedded base in the hill is probably beyond our ability at this point. Also time-wise. We can work on that maybe as a next step. For now, let's just get a basic platform and base set up where we can get some protection from spiders, recharge the rover, and set up some sort of drill rig for ice. Also, some centralized storage for components is really needed. If we're going to start disassembling Assert bases for components, we'll need something a lot more than our little rover to hold everything. So let's get started. Okay, that's a 5x6 platform, and for an interior space, that'll be 4x3. Not a ton of space, but enough for some humble beginnings. What's next is we need to get that stone processed in the rover and get our containers unloaded so we can go salvaging at the Assert base we captured. So I think, for now, I'll place a small, large grid container here to move and store everything. It uses the only 4 metal grids we have so far, but those are the ones we harvested from our 4 atmospheric thrusters. But we'll just deal with that later. For now, we'll just get it done and get the rover emptied. We're on our way, but I am going to scan these meteor hits as I drive by. Now, you might be asking why. The reason is, these impact craters can sometimes have small amounts of minerals, sometimes rare ones like platinum and uranium. even these that have a little ice could be important if we're running low and need oxygen. And I can't directly do anything with the other ores like uranium, even if I found some, because we have no working refineries. But what I might be able to do eventually is sell these rare ores at a trade station for money. So they're worth checking out. We'll get on with the demolition of this assert base though and get loaded with components. Alright, we're pretty full, but I have a bunch of gravel I can dump, so let's get a little sorter and connector built for ejection. I admit it, I like the little gravel cubes. Now back to the grinding. It's dark, a little stormy with dust, so we'll just drive carefully. We'll back up here to unload. There's a little more to get back at the assert base, but we'll start a little base of our own construction and maybe get enough walls and things up for some minimal spider protection. I have no idea what kind of aesthetic or even functional arrangement I want with this thing, but we'll get on back to our scrapping and think about it. One thing's for sure, we'll need more parts for whatever it is. Alright, so that's it. We'll leave our little gravel blocks behind as a present and return to our base. That was actually strangely satisfying. A lot more than drilling and stone refining. I also did pick up that little bit of ice in the meteor crater, about 53 kilograms, which almost is exactly the amount of oxygen I've used up so far. So yeah, those little bits could be really important if I hadn't found this ice deposit. Folks might have also noticed the plushies in my inventory. They are not the one and only plush from the Piracy series. I don't know if my buddy Plush has made it to the solar system, but who knows? Maybe we'll run into him later. We'll get our rover unloaded, and yes, right now we're just manually unloading everything by hand, but that will change eventually. The next thing we need here for sure though is some power. So we'll get that sorted and think about what's next. Now that we've got that, I think we'll go for another satellite. We can always use more components, and money will be great for trade. Plus, the exploration will help spawn more assert bases. And I do enjoy driving around our little three-wheel rover. Maybe, with all these components we're salvaging, we can give the rover a makeover and finish off some kind of base soon. Subscribe and ring the bell to see what happens on what's supposed to be a routine satellite mission. And I'll see you next time.